What is it like to fully free to play get the hardest champion in the game? I literally think there's one person in the world who has accomplished this feat. Let me know if you know of any other people, but my dude Entropy has accomplished this goal as fully free to play. I'm so excited to share the best strategy tips I have ever seen for this content, and you let me know in the comments if you have other ones as well. Let's go. I've been waiting so long to make this video. What's up, guys? MtgJedi here. How you doing today? My dude Entropy has been a super long time supporter of the channel here, of the Twitch stream. He's been here for almost the beginning, I think. And he contacted me a while ago and said he was trying to get Polera Fireheart fully free to play. I was like, heck yes, dude. Heck yes. We have got her. Now, regardless of what you think about her, if she's good or bad, regardless of if you think you will ever get her, this video is going to contain critical information to help everybody. One of the main reasons I wanted to make it was to show off Entropy's insane achievement. I have spent a giant pile of money on this game. I still don't have her. Entropy, no money spent. He's used epics. He has all these tricks that he's used. So cool teams. We're going to talk about all of that stuff today. I want you to put in the comments what your favorite part is. And hopefully Plarium will buff her so that she is actually good. But anytime you have a block or revive champion, it's like, how good do you actually want to make them? So that's tricky. That is tricky. All right, so let's think about what is the very first thing that we want to know about this journey. And I think that it's probably what are his teams that he is using. Right now, he is clearing every level 21 boss. And here are the teams we're going to take a brief look over. You can always pause the video and, take a deeper dive into what the teams look like. Okay, so for me, I'm a little OCD and I have to put mine in the order that they go in the index. But that's just me. He has a nice legendary roster here. Obviously, if he can get Polera, he can get Roman too, so that's really nice. But, there's nothing crazy in this team here. I would say of all the teams on his account, the Shadowkin is probably the craziest with Toshiro. Toshiro, what a baller. I mean, just an absolute game changer. One of my favorite champions on my account. High Elves has been the bane of my existence. So I need some thoughts and ideas on High Elves, and I do have all of those champions. What is this, Bannerlords? And then he said there are some letters here, and that would be the first letter of their names on who could be missing gear. So on the Shadow team, all of them could be missing gear. Just like a note to himself that he's sharing gear with other champions. I love that. Absolutely love that. We have Demon Spawn being absolutely crazy with Volcanos. I never thought to use Titus. Actually, I didn't think he would be good, so I'm going to have to consider that. Dwarves is very difficult. Geomancer in there is fascinating. Not all of these are full auto. Some of these are manualing the level. The nice thing is you just have to do that once per day when the faction is open, once you've cleared it. He said Dark Elves was the hardest for him by far. I totally agree with that. Dark Elves is a pain in the butt. Can we get some new Dark Elves, please, Plarium? I think it is really cool to see Steel Skull in here on the Skinwalkers. Ilil, love that guy. And no Reviver. No Reviver. That's crazy, guys. Let's see here. We got 2 different epics. That's interesting. The Undead here. Fairly accessible team, except for the 6-star Rotos, probably. We have a really nice Orcs team. Interesting, interesting. Jorg in here. We got Jorg. And then, wow, 2 Vizugs. This is cool. I wonder how well multiple Calvalaxes would do on the boss. He said Shatterbones is one of his like biggest recommendations for Oghren, and we're gonna talk about key champions for each faction up next. I'm gonna try to keep that short, sweet, and to the point because we have other stuff we need to talk about as well. Man, this just looks so interesting. I definitely do not use these teams, and I have all of these champions. So I probably need to take note of this. And if you guys want more content on Hard Faction Wars, let me know what topics you would like discussed in the comments below. Okay, let's hop over to the factions. Let's take a look at his most valuable champions in each faction. Let me find that information, and we're gonna... it's shocking. Okay, so fascinatingly, he said that Titus was the key for this faction. I'm gonna have to go get some clarification on that because I don't understand. I don't really get it. Like obviously we know Titus in the like set up teams for Hydra and Chimera all around him, but like, are we doing the ally protection? Is that why? Is it because of the provoke? The block active skills? I don't know. I don't know why. So I'm gonna get clarification on that. We'll come back to that in a minute. High elves is the giant pain in the butt. Damage is definitely a problem. I have been told by other people that this guy Ethelyn is the key. What Entropy did was he had a really nice soul for Yannica, so he used her. But he did say like damage is definitely a problem. And then just like I would recommend regen on Arbiter. And if you have the actually let's go over into the forge here. If you have this relic here, the golden elixir, that can be really, really powerful on your revivers or any champion that you want. So I believe that he used that relic on all of his revivers whenever he was having a problem. So there's that. And then the next faction was Sacred Order. And I am so pleased to tell you that he said He-Man was the critical one. No surprise there. He's got turn meter boost and insane damage. His AoE is really, really good. I mean, everything about him is amazing. Unfortunately, can't get him anymore. Okay, Barbarians, obviously Armand's is the key here, or his, you know, and that's pretty obvious, you know. We have the insane control of his A2 and his A3, and he just cycles through his abilities so quickly. But one of the hard parts is probably going to be in Oghren. His key champion was going to be Vizug, and I know that most people don't have him, so he did provide an alternate option, and that was the Shatterbones call out that I mentioned earlier. Next up in Lizardmen, a Void Legendary that often goes underlooked, and that's Chogger. Chogger really locks people down, especially when you're able to poison them. So I think that is something you can definitely look into. I know from my personal experience that high damage does work here as well, like with Teox if you have him. Obviously, those are difficult to achieve champions. A lot of people going to be using Donatello to help with the cooldowns and healing and stuff in this faction, and I think that's a great idea. Okay, next is Skinwalkers. This is going to be an obvious one. In case you don't know, Marius is insane. I would say a good gauge of when you should be able to start clearing factions in Hard Faction Wars is around the time where you have Marius. So that can be a good goal for yourself, is to start by getting Marius. And obviously you can make as much progress in there as you can. Farming Hard Faction Wars is definitely better than not farming it. The glyphs are amazing. I think another obvious thing is going to be that the Packmaster and Dog combo with Crocade and Packmaster over here are going to be like the highest profile, best way to clear this faction. I was struggling with this faction until I got the Dog. And then next up, Carnage, actually, for Demon Spawn. I did not expect that. As a free-to-play champion, you can get him by clearing stuff in Curse City, and it just takes time. You can very easily get him over time slowly, so everybody should be able to get him. I love that. He said he messed up the Fabian fusion, and he still never got him. I would say, like, man, this faction for him is very free to play reasonable. He said Vlad was key here, and I totally agree. I've been using Vlad a ton myself. Next up is going to be Dark Elves, and the Dark Elves key champion was Mithrala, which is great. Another free champion. Love to see that. I think Dark Elves is insanely hard, so I'm struggling with it myself. I'm going to hit him up for some help. And then on Knights Rev, Empress, another free champion. You can see we're really utilizing the full spectrum of all the free champions in the game. Also, special note to White Queen Ancora. If you have her, she's extremely good for this faction. Next up is going to be Dwarves. No surprise there. Newt is going to be an all-star, but also Molly. I do personally want to shout out the epic Melga because Molly takes a lot of damage. And that's great, but then you need some kind of way to heal her. So if you're going to use Molly as your reviver, then you want somebody to heal her. I would try to probably use her as the control and then maybe also include Melga. Next up is another great thing to hear, Mikage and Ninja. Now, I think a lot of people are going to go Mikage and Leonardo because they have him and they don't have Ninja. I think that could work, but then you're going to need to bring control somewhere else. One of the reasons why Ninja is so helpful is the AoE freeze and then the single target boss damage as well. And then, shocker! Dythe is the key for him for Sylvan Watchers. That is absolutely amazing. Okay, now on to the other critical things that he has shared with me. Okay, so let's talk about some practical teams and what that was like. I want to show you a couple different things here for him. Hopefully this is going to cooperate. So, there are some stages that are just way harder than other stages. And like stage 19 here in Ogren is certainly one of them. Double Vizug, Stalk, Blazar, and Biggin. No reviver there in order to have the appropriate champions to clear it. Next up is this stage in also in Ogren, yeah, where we have the double man-eaters to keep everybody alive, and then some damage, block buffs, Bellower for stuns, like literally no legendaries or mythicals. That's crazy. Next up, we have Lizardman, 19. And we have Venomage in here, Nikmo. Skull is clutch because he has that passive revive now since he was buffed. I think that this is one of the hardest stages in the entire game. And the reason why, even though it's only stage 14, is because you have to have enough damage to clear the boss. It's the 12 turns boss. And you have to clear it in a certain number of turns. So what he did was he removed the reviver and just tried to get as much damage in as he can with the survivability. And I know for myself, I do not have this 3-starred. I have 2 stars in it myself. I do not have 3 stars either. So I think we are in desperate need of a good damage dealer in High Elves. Really just good champions in general. I mean, not High Elves, Dark Elves. Next up, stage 16 here. This kind of looks like a normal team. I just want to tell you, it is not. And he and I talked about this a lot because one of the epics that he fed was Catacomb Counselor. And you should just keep a copy of every epic because you don't know when you're going to need them, especially in hard faction wars for these random stages. So this is the counterattack ally attack stage. What he had to do was rely on Rhodos and Seeker, and he put Seeker in retaliation gear so that we were going to be able to get the counterattacks. That is absolutely crazy, but that's a really fun one as well. Fun. And then we have stage 19 over here for Banner Lords or Sacred Order, excuse me. And we were able to use freaking April in here, which is great. Almost no damage. I'm going to guess that Vault is in a damage build. And then last but not least is like you want to have presets that you can move around your account. So here are some of the presets that were key for him. We have a lethal attack set. We have a bolster HP set. In addition to bolster, we can have a shield set. I literally never thought about doubling up with bolster and shield. I definitely need to do that. On the reviver, you want your regen and immortal. And then we have a second set over here as well. A fast stun set, a fast speed set, and a fast reflex set. The speeds are pretty important. You want people going as fast as possible on hard faction wars. Some of the later stages, you need people over 300 in order to just go first. And then you can obviously see Rhodos there in, your damage ignoring gear, whatever your best sets are there. So there's so much key information here, and I want to end the video running one of his teams on auto so that you can see what's going on. I want to mention that Painkeeper team, can I get that up on screen here one more time? The Painkeeper team, he said she ended up being key. He put her over 400 speed, and she was just lowering the skill cooldowns, healing everybody. Dude, that's insane. I love to hear stuff like that. Like a rare was the key to beating this faction. So maybe we need more in-depth on some of this stuff. Let me know what you want covered more in-depth, and we can definitely make that happen. Okay, let's take a look at Lizards 21. I don't know how fast that is. Let me check before we start the run. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on here and speed it up, and then I'll wrap up the video at the end. I'm going to look over his notes. Big shout out to Entropy. He was super detailed, really helpful with this, and I'm sure he can answer other questions in the comments below as well if you need help with specific things. He's just a really, really insanely smart player. The run here. Okay, perfect timing. Yeah, awesome. So we have a full auto, like 6 to 7 minute run on stage 21. We got an epic glyph. That's pretty sick. And a speed glyph, always helpful. with this sweet Lizardman team. So let me go and check and see what else we need to talk about, but we'll probably just wrap up the video here. So thank you so much for watching. I'm MtgJedi. Go thank Entropy in the comments below for a sick showcase and info drop, and I'll see you guys in the next one.